Well, this is a video I never thought I would be making, but here we are. I am officially selling my 1956 Chevy, and that's pretty wild to admit, and I know a lot of you are wondering why and how did it even get to this point. The funny thing is, this was a really recent decision. If you asked me a week ago if this car was for sale, I would have told you no chance. But over the last couple days, I've had a lot of time to look at it and really think about it. And there was a few things that really sealed the deal for me. And ultimately, I just had a change of heart about the project. So I wanted to make this video because I felt I owed you guys an explanation. I know a lot of people were excited to see this car get built on the channel. And believe me, I was more excited than anybody. But in just a bit, I'm going to kind of walk you through a few things that made me change my mind about the whole deal, and yeah, why it's for sale. So for those of you who are new to the channel or who aren't familiar with this car, you should really go back and watch the videos we did on this thing. They were really fun. How this all started was about 2 years ago. I fell in love with 56 Chevys. Danny has a bunch of them, and I just thought they were like the best looking cars, and I had to have one for myself. So for the last 2 years, I have been on Marketplace every single day looking for a 56 Chevy. I was a little picky too, you know. It not only did it have to be a 56, but it had to be a two-door post car. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, hey, they made a lot of those. They made a lot of two-door post cars. But the thing is, in my area, all the 56s that were on Marketplace were like complete show cars. So they had really nice paint, they were already finished, and they were way out of my budget. So it was just getting a lot harder to find one that was within my budget, something that I could afford, especially with the way the car market has been the last few years. It's just exploded. So I guess you could say I was getting really, really desperate. And when this thing popped up on Marketplace back in March of this year, you could just say that my standards were at an all-time low, which is really funny to admit, but it's true. My standards were really low at that point, and this thing was within my budget. So I asked Danny if we could drive a little distance and go pick it up, and he said sure. So him and I drove up to Northern California, bought this thing. We fixed it on the side of the road, and then we drove it over 400 miles back here. And that was the adventure of a lifetime. We had so much fun. Definitely a little sketchy and would not recommend, but we survived. And then we've had a lot of fun with it, you know, over the last few months, taking it to different local car shows. We set up some GoPros on it, got people's reactions to the car. I've driven it a little bit and we've had fun with it, but you know, every time I come to the shop and I'm picking up merch items or I'm just cleaning stuff up around here, I come over and I really look at it, and I'll do like a whole walk around on the car, and just the list of things that this car needs keeps growing longer and longer and longer. And I realize, you know, all classic cars need their work, and especially a car this old, like over 60 years old, nearly 70 at this point, it's gonna need work, but unfortunately we don't have the time. We have been so consumed with our Dodge Charger drag and drive build, and that has our full attention until September when we do the event. And so unfortunately this thing just kind of sits here and it doesn't really do anything, and it's not really safe enough to drive right now all over the place. So it just sits. Worse yet, it needs a lot of metal work. And you know, for somebody who's buying a car like this, maybe they're fine just driving it the way it is, like fixing up some of the safety issues, you know, improving the brakes, doing whatever, and they don't mind that there's like rust, holes, Bondo, then maybe this is like the project for you. But you know, I fell in love with these cars because of Danny's car named Hank, which I'll show you, he's right here. So coming into the shop, this was the car that really inspired it all for me. This is Hank, and he's kind of like a little gasser inspired build. He's got a small block Chevy under the hood. It's got a 4-speed. It's got the fender well headers. And the thing is, this car is just a really solid California car. Virtually no rust, just some really tiny imperfections. But you know, he's all there, he's all metal. There's like no Bondo on this car. I mean, what you see is what it is. Original paint. This is India Ivory and Tropical Turquoise. So this was kind of, I guess you could say, the car I was inspired by and what I was going for. And then I ended up with this. So you could say my standards were pretty low, but not to say that this isn't a cool car. Don't get me wrong. I think this thing is killer. I still love it so much. I love the bench seat. It's cool, but it's just not a project that I can get into. And I think at this point it's leaked out all of its trans fluid because that was not soaked before. All right, so what really did me in and what had me come to this decision? Let me take you to the back real quick. So we all know that it had some serious rust issues back here, and then the trunk, which, can I open it? No, I need a flathead. So the trunk is even worse. It's like all holes back there. But the other day we were in here and Danny basically flicked off a little chip like this of Bondo. And I knew there was an issue with this quarter panel when we got it. I mean, like, check this out. This like rust hole, like this is not an area where this panel should rust or have any type of holes. So I figured that somebody a long time ago had kind of like patched this in or whatever, or done like a quick job. But yeah, it's got some Bondo, it's some Bondo. It's got a lot. I could probably flick this off too, but I shouldn't do that. Basically, this whole quarter panel would have to be replaced as well. And after dealing with the Dodge Charger, I'm just not interested in doing metal work again. That's not the kind of project I want. And that's definitely not the kind of project I have time for. So Danny and I talked it through, and what he said made sense to me. He told me to basically save up my pennies and spend a little more on a car, you know, increase my budget here and get something that would be just a lot more solid. And I think he's right. I think that's what I have to do. So I have a little bit of a savings going, and once this thing is sold, you know, I'll have a little bit more budget. And I think I'm just gonna keep hunting for a 56 Chevy that's in a condition that's more workable for me. And I know some people will say, you know, that doesn't look like too much work. You guys are giving up too easily. I'm just trying to be realistic here. I know what my skill set is, and with YouTube, it takes so long to make these videos, and it's such an investment, not only money, but our time. And this is not necessarily work that's very interesting to film. So with our Charger, we haven't shown a lot of the metalwork process because it's just not that interesting. It's really hard to film. It's not cool. So with YouTube, people have pretty short attention spans and they just want to see projects moving. They just want to see transformations. They're already on to the next thing. So I want a project where I'm not going to have to get into the metal or body work on it. I can just have fun doing the suspension, doing the engine and trans, you know, just making it into a hot rod basically. Another good and bad thing that has come from this whole situation here, depending how you look at it, is that this car has made me a whole lot pickier about my next 56. So initially, I just wanted a 56 two-door with a post right there. But now that I've had this car for some time, I've completely fallen in love with the Bel Air. I used to never care about trim levels. I mean, here's Hank. You know, if you guys know the differences, you can easily Google them between the 150, the 210, and the Bel Air. But the Bel Air, if you had a two-tone car from the factory, which this one was, it has this like swoop that goes all the way down the body. And I just thought that was so pretty. So this car was a factory India ivory car with Pinecrest green. And I have just completely fallen in love with the trim. So now I'm even pickier. Not only does it have to be a 56 Chevy two-door post, I also really want a Bel Air. So I guess you could say that makes it harder for me. That makes it a little worse because they're not so easy to come by, but I know what I want and I'm gonna stay positive. I know I can find one. I just gotta keep sticking to Marketplace and keep saving my pennies, but I promise you guys, I will find one and I will have my dream 56 soon enough. Yeah, I mean, these things happen. I don't know if you guys have any stories about purchasing a car that you like really, really wanted and then ended up selling it. Maybe leave a comment down below and let me know so I feel a little better that I'm not the only one who changes their mind. But yeah, so 56 Chevy is for sale. Sorry if this video is all over the place. This is just me kind of like going live and like justifying my decision here or trying to explain myself, I guess you could say. But really, I came to the shop today to film this video and to pick up some merch. So let's go into the merch room. Here it is. Got a lot of stuff. So we have our classic gold glitter logo shirts. We also have them with the blue glitter, which is super pretty, perfect for summer. So you're not wearing a black shirt, but if you really need a black shirt, we have them too with the gold print. And we have some hoodies still left. So we have zip-ups and pullovers. And then for hats, we just came out a little while ago with these blue glitter embroidered hats. And then of course we have our traditional gold ones. So these just are on gnarlyspeedshop.com. I still haven't cleaned up my mess here, but we got these new pina colada scented air fresheners, which smell amazing, will really freshen up your car. And then we got the surfboard bottle opener keychains. So stickers, all the good stuff. You can head over to gnarlyspeedshop.com if you'd like to support the channel. And yeah, that's kind of it for here. I'm gonna head back to the other shop now and check in on Danny. Okay, I'm back at the other shop now. Here is the current state of our Dodge Charger build. We got a bunch of new parts here and I'm gonna have Danny show them to you. What's up?
All right, guys. Well, we're back from Hawaii and finally got caught up on rest. So it's time to work on the Charger again. We got some really cool parts in while we were away. We'll start over here though. So the roll cage came in. So this is a pre-bent roll cage from S&W, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a chromoly. It's just a mild steel, I guess. So I'm curious how much this weighs. We have a scale right here, so we're gonna get to that in a second. We're gonna figure out how much weight this is gonna add to the car. And then over here, we got the gas cap that came in, flip top. So this goes, this is gonna go over here.
That's a pretty critical part. Like that's one of those Mopar details that's like you have to have it.
Yeah, yeah. So this is gonna go right here. So those 3 holes line up there. And then this is gonna go, boom, right there. And then once the tube is underneath, it'll pop open on its own when you hit this button. So pretty excited about that. And I'm gonna show you this cool little lock setup here. So this is so nobody steals your gasoline. This is original piece that they had as an option for the Chargers. And it's pretty rare. And I got it off of eBay. So I don't know if you guys know anything about this.
Little locking thing.
There's not a whole lot of information out there on this, but
yeah, apparently
I'll show you how it
was
works.
an option. So
yeah, let me show you how it works.
Okay.
Okay, let's go over here. So this is the tube that goes from the quarter panel to the fuel tank. And this just goes and drops in here like this. Turn it to the right. It locks. You can remove the key.
Sweet.
Yeah, so nobody can steal your gasoline.
Especially in this economy.
Right? Yeah. So we got to get an extra key made.
Yeah.
Also, I was looking at the numbers on here. You see that? It's made in the USA, this key, and then there's a Y13. So I doubt this is an original key, but maybe some of you guys can chime in and let us know if those numbers mean anything Mopar related.
Yeah, or if you have one of these locking deals on your Mopar, just curious like how common this is.
Yeah, so this is the plan that I have. This is gonna go underneath there and bolt up to that, just like how it was originally. But obviously we have a fuel cell here in the back. So what we're gonna do is cut this piece of tubing here, and I'm gonna weld on a piece here to the top of this, like right here. And then I'll join the two together with like a piece of rubber hose.
Yep.
And put some clamps on them. So that's how we're gonna keep this thing functional. So
that
we'll
way
still
you
be
can
able
still
to add.
fill it, but then it goes to our 25-gallon fuel cell.
Yeah. And then that vent tube, I'll just hook up to this original vent tube here.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So that'll go to here.
Yep.
And then we already have it all blocked off, so no fuel can get into the cab of the car. So that's already done.
Got to set up a position for the rear mount battery at some point.
Yeah, I think we're gonna put the battery on this side and maybe favor the tank over to the passenger side to get the weight like a little bit even in the back. So it's not like weighted on one side more than the other. So we're gonna do that. And then we'll move on over here. We got some other parts that came in. We'll show you. We got Holley retro brights that came in. And if you guys drive your cars a lot, trust me, these lights right here, they work really well. Olivia has them on her car, and at nighttime, they get really bright. Cool thing is they plug into the factory like connector. So they don't require any additional like relays or anything like that, but I would suggest adding a relay if you can.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole deal with these is that they look as factory as they possibly can. I mean, I know it says Holley there, but they look really old school, but they light up the road really well. And
they're still yellow, like they're like a light yellow color.
Yeah, they actually sell them with both options though. You could get more of the classic yellow, or you can get kind of like a white beam. They have two options, but what we got for Danny is the low beams and the high beams. So I don't know which ones are which here. We're gonna have to open them all up, but they actually sell low and high beams, which is nice. And then these are the smaller one. I forget the diameter on them, but they also make a 7-inch. So if you have like a Camaro or something.
What are they, like 5 3/4?
Something like that.
Okay. So then we got some door handles too. So this one will go here. I ended up getting some original ones instead of the aftermarket ones. I've bought some aftermarket ones in the past, and after about a year, they looked like this original one here. See that little pitting?
Yeah.
So the chrome is just really bad on the aftermarket ones from my experience. So I just got these original ones, and they were like really well cared for. You could see they still have the gaskets on there and here, and all the bolts are there, and they'll work just fine.
Yeah, these are plenty good enough for this car. Like I said, we're not going for perfection here on it.
Also, we got some fan mail that came in, or some subscriber mail that came in. So we're gonna open that in a second. But what I'm most excited about is we got the fiberglass hood.
Check it out. Here, do you want to hold it? Because you're taller than me.
Yeah, so here is the 6-pack hood, and it's the pin-on version, so it's a little bit lighter than the bolt-on version. We're gonna weigh this in a little bit and compare it to the stock hood that's leaning against the wall right there, just to see how much lighter this hood is. We'll get to that in a second. But first, I think we should weigh this cage.
I think so too. I'm so curious how much this is gonna add, because this is like not like a hood where you're replacing it for a lighter one. This is just like pure added weight.
Yeah.
So.
No. So the idea for the car, guys, is to try to save as much weight as possible here. And also to move as much of the weight from the front of the car to the back. So we're removing the battery. It's going to be obviously in the very back, and later on with the car we might even do a rear mount radiator like my Camaro has, to try to get additional weight to the back, as well as a Delta Pag brushless water pump. So all of that will go in the back, and we might even add some electric air conditioning to this eventually.
But that'll be later.
Yeah, and that'll all be in the back as well. So everything is just going to be light up in the front and all the way in the back, so we can get maximum traction on the street.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, but let's move on to the cage.
Okay. How should we do this?
Okay, so here's the scale that I have. This is my refrigeration scale. Okay, so we can't set all of that right on here, so we'll use that box to put on the scale for. Wait, you don't think it'll hold it?
I don't know.
Wait.
Okay, so that.
So let's grab this section of the cage first and put it on here. Can you, oh, here we go. So what we'll do is zero out the scale. So now it's at 0.
Okay.
And then we'll add this on to it. So that's 31 pounds. We'll round up to 32 pounds.
Okay.
Right?
And there's 2 of those.
Are they exactly the same?
I don't know. We can try it right now, but.
Oh, this one feels heavier.
That's it?
Yeah, 41.
Okay, so let's call it 32 and 41 or 42?
Yeah, 32 and 41. Oh. What's the math? I didn't go to school.
I think we'll finish weighing and then we'll add everything up.
32, 41. Mm-hmm. Okay, 17.
Yep.
Should we write this down?
Yeah. 32.
41, right?
41 and 17. Okay.
Okay, is that, and then this is going to be tough to weigh.
Yeah, a little tricky, but.
You know, we're just going to get a rough estimate here, guys.
Yeah, this is not precision, but.
Let's say 17 pounds.
Okay, another 17. And then we just have the main hoop. Let's see. That is 22.
22,
Let's
okay.
call it. And
Hold
then
that. All right. And then these are like the plates, I believe. So we'll just weigh this too.
okay.
Oh wait, 17, what was it? 22.
And 22. So another 17.
And then this is about 12 pounds, 10 pounds.
Wow, 10. Okay. So what is that? I need a calculator.
3, 4, carry the 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know, I haven't done this since like the 12th grade. So now what do I do? And then I add this side? Is that how you do it?
I just want you to do your thing.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, it's 1,200 pounds.
It's 121 pounds. Okay, let's get the calculator out. Okay, read those off to me.
32, 41,
32.
17, 17, 22, 10.
139. See, it was close.
Okay. Yeah, you're close.
That's not too bad.
Nope.
That's like another you in the car.
I'm not 139. Jesus.
Okay.
So that's the cage. So what else? We're going to weigh the hood?
Yeah, let's weigh the hood next.
Oh gosh, I don't want to pick it up.
Well, let's take the scale over there.
I know. I hate that hood.
Oh, jeez, this
Oh
is heavy.
shoot, you're doing it all on your own. Hang on. How should we do this?
I got it.
Put it down.
Zero that out.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa. Says 65.
65?
Yeah, let's call it 65.
Okay.
Jeez.
Dude, it's heavy.
Okay, here comes the glass hood. Holy heck.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Scale's zeroed out.
Yep.
Hold on. What is that?
28
Okay.
almost. 27.7.
Okay, let's see if I can do subtraction.
No, don't hurt yourself. Don't worry about it. Just get the calculator out.
Yeah, let's just go straight for the calculator on this one. What was the math?
65 minus 27.
65 minus 27? Mm-hmm. 38 pounds.
Almost 40.
Yeah, so look. So we're really only 100 pounds heavier than stock by adding the cage now.
Okay.
Plus we're gonna do fiberglass front bumper, we think, and possibly rear. That should save us another like 20 pounds probably. Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna get an aluminum drive shaft, which should show up tomorrow. So there's aluminum drive shaft, should save another 20 pounds maybe. Mm-hmm. And then we have those lightweight seats, which save a bunch of weight, a ton. We have no back seat. We got aluminum heads, aluminum intake now versus the factory. We got all aluminum transmission. The Moser rear end is a little bit more than stock, so that's going to add a little bit.
Got the Dynalite brakes, so
Yeah,
those drilled and slotted.
Yeah, the front K-member is lighter than the stock one. We don't have any dash. We're not going to have a dash for now.
Yeah. Rack and pinion, and the steering column probably saved some.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What do you think it's going to weigh when it's all said and done?
I don't know. If it could be around like 3,200 pounds.
33.
Yeah, even 33. I mean, that'd be pretty good for such a huge car.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll eventually get a 4-corner scale. I'd like to get one of those.
Yeah.
So we can kind of get an idea of what things weigh around here. Also, we can adjust the suspension, the coils, according to the scales. That will be good.
Well, we'll know as soon as we take this thing to a racetrack. We'll throw it on the scales there. You'll know right then and there.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. Can't wait. This hood needs to get cut out, though.
Oh, yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
So there's some more weight savings. Right there. I don't know what you guys would use to cut this out. Like, I have like a Dremel thing that I could use. Like, there's like the 3-inch cutoff wheel, but that might make a big mess. I also have like a little saw thing that I might be able to use. I don't know. Let us know what you guys would use to cut that out.
Yeah, fiberglass makes such a mess, so it'd be nice to just do it as like cleanly as possible.
Yeah. Originally, I didn't want to have to go with a hood that has a scoop on it, but we just didn't have a choice. Like, the clearance between the carburetor and the hood is just, the factory hood is so close that I would have to run a air cleaner that dropped down, and that kills a lot of power. And also, it's not going to help with like heat up on the top end of the motor. So this will get some cooler air into the engine bay. And also, when we're idling, it will allow some of that heat to kind of come out instead of just staying around in the engine bay. So, should we put it on the car and see what it looks like?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, so here, I'm gonna, or you grab this side and I'll grab that side.
Okay.
Go ahead. I got the hood.
Okay, hang on. The cage is in the way. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Oh.
Sorry.
There it is.
Whoa.
That looks so cool.
Shoot.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty sweet.
You like it?
Yeah, I dig it. That's pretty sweet.
All right. I really prefer the factory hood, but we just don't have a choice.
I mean, I do too. I would prefer it, but if you're going to go with any scoop, I mean, this is like, it's nice and like low profile. It's not like too big. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I kind of like the body lines here.
Yeah,
the little detail of like the factory hood.
Yeah, they kept that. That's cool. I mean, it's a lot better than in my opinion, than the Hemi hood scoop, which is a real giant one.
Yeah, that one's huge.
It's just too much.
No, this is.
So from the inside, let's see what it'll look like. Oh yeah, that's cool.
And you're gonna like breathe easy knowing that it's getting like fresh air always coming into it.
Yeah, now we can run a 4-inch tall air cleaner or something big.
Yeah, like a bigger filter.
Yeah, and then we got to figure out something to put right here.
Gnarly. No, we should put Rum Runner there.
Could be.
Just a little subtle detail.
Well, there it is, guys. That's what it looks like. Dang, I'm kind of liking how it's a black and then orange. It's like different colors, but it kind of reminds me of Mayhem, and that's not what we're trying to go for.
I don't know. I told you to do black, and you said you wanted a color, so.
Shoot. Let me see.
Here.
It looks good.
I know, right?
Oh, dang.
So everyone made fun of me. I said, let's do black, and they're like, oh, don't do that. It looks so good.
I gotta admit, it looks really good in all black. But the plan was from the beginning to paint it gold, so that's what we're gonna do.
No, the gold will look pretty. If it was any color, I always think you should go with like the factory color. Mm-hmm. So this gold will be pretty.
All right, guys. Well, obviously we have a ton of work ahead of us. We gotta take this cage out and like set it all up and kind of pre-mock it up out here and figure out where everything goes. And then I'm actually gonna be welding this in myself, which I'm pretty comfortable welding mild steel with a MIG welder. But the fuel tank, I'm gonna have to weld it with the the TIG welder. And I'm not that great with aluminum, but I'm gonna have to do a little bit more practicing before I weld this piece onto the tank. So we'll show you guys all of that in the next video, as well as us putting the roll cage in. So this is the steps that we're gonna do. We're gonna clean the inside of the car, like, you know, scuff it all up and get all the scale off. Then we're gonna paint it black, the whole inside of the car. And then after that, we're going to clean all of this metal up, mask off the ends about 3/4 of an inch from the end here, and paint this all black. So that way when we put it in and we do weld it all up, it's not going to be hard for us to get paint in all the areas that are hard to get to.
Yeah.
So if there's scratches and stuff here and there that we can see, we can easily just paint them again, and then it'll all be uniform. Then after that, we could pull the motor out of the car and the transmission and finish up some welding in the back end of the car and start doing all the body work and paint.
Okay. And then after that, it's just putting everything in for the final time, hooking it up, and...
Yeah, we know the engine runs good. It's not leaking. We got to fit the headers in still, which we should probably do before we pull the motor out. A lot of things to think about here, guys.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Building a car is not easy, and we're not like professionals at it. We're just learning as we go. So that's just the best that I could think of right now.
So before we end off this video, we did get some mail in from some subscribers. So I kind of wanted to open that up. And one of them says, please open on camera. So I'm curious what that is. But this one I recognized here because it's from our friends at Hexon Abrasives.
Yeah,
so
they sent us something already.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, what else could they have sent? So let's open this up carefully. Oh,
What is
what is
that?
this?
Okay.
Multi-purpose scissors. Ooh. What else is in here?
Okay. We need some heavy-duty scissors, actually. What is this?
Let me see. Oh, there's like 2 notes in here. Okay, so hello, Danny and Olivia. We want to thank you again for the wonderful job showing our sanding discs. We have a prototype product we would like you to try. The product is a template that allows you to correctly trim the 3-inch into a 2-inch disc. The thought is to purchase a box of 3-inch. When it loses its edge and you think it is ready to toss, you trim it. Now you have a set of usable 2-inch, so more bang for the buck to the customer. I sent the template and heavy-duty scissors. You have the 3-inch discs already. If you can give it a try, see what you think. Good idea, bad idea. Before going forward, I'd like some real-world opinion. Email with thoughts or questions. We wish you the best of luck with your speed shop business. Rick and Sally Roth.
All right.
And then he just tells you how to do it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, so far I like that idea.
Yeah.
You know, if it works, that's great.
Okay, well, let's open up this other one, and then we're going to try this out, actually. Okay. We know exactly what you're talking about. I think that's a good idea.
I think that's cool. Okay, so this one is coming from Trevor Upton from Guelph, Ontario, Canada. So this is coming all the way from Canada. What is this?
Model cars?
No way. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Firebirds.
Oh, cool. A couple of Trans Ams. The hood came off.
Oh, whoa. That's a pretty detailed motor right there. That's cool.
I like this. Hang on, I'm going to put this down and get the other one. This is crazy.
This is awesome. We're like still little kids at heart, huh?
Yeah, look at this. Oh, I like the little thing in the back.
The antenna.
And it's got a hot rod thing on it. Does this open?
Power tour.
Oh, how do I do this? This is so sweet. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, we have the perfect
Looks like they
shelf
painted
for
that
this.
engine themselves, huh? The whole car. Let's see the bottom. Oh yeah, look at that. Somebody built this.
Wow. Thank you, Trevor.
Maybe Trevor built it. Is there a note?
It's got the Smirnoff on it on the side. There is no note, but still, those are killer.
Cool.
I like them.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That one says Holland.
Yeah.
Super cool. So if you guys want to send us anything, I'm going to leave our P.O. box in the description of this video. We're always opening stuff up on camera, so if you send something, you'll probably see it in a future video.
Okay, so here's the 2 discs that they sent. They sent this bigger one, which is what, 3-inch? Mm-hmm. And then this one's maybe 2-inch. So what they're talking about is, you see how after we use this, it kind of the edges kind of get messed up after a little while? It'll start to turn round again. Well, if that happened to this bigger one, right, you would just throw away the disc even though the center of it's still useful. So what they're saying is, I think you just put this on here like that, line it all up, use these.
Oh.
So a little template. See if I can cut my hand.
Yeah, careful.
Boom.
Okay.
There. Look at that.
Let's see.
Now you
oh
have,
my gosh.
Now you have this one.
Yeah.
So it's still good to use for more.
You know what? I like that idea because these are one of those things that you have to buy and you hate buying them because they're so expensive. You know what I mean? So if you have the ability to keep using it.
Yeah, you can use it again, repurpose it. So cool. I like it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Approved.
Approved.
We actually got one more thing in the mail, and this is from our friend Shannon over at Redline Gauge Works. He hooked us up with some t-shirts here. And Shannon's the one who actually got me set up with my Dakota Digital RTX gauges that I have in my Tempest, and I love them so much. They look amazing, and they look as factory as you can possibly have digital gauges look. So I love them. And basically, he is a dealer for Dakota Digital. So if you guys have a build and you are considering buying some gauges from them, definitely go to Shannon's store. I'm gonna leave a link in our description box and use code GNARLY because you're gonna save a chunk of change on some brand new Dakota Digital gauge panels. And that way you can have some brand new gauges for your build. So you'll be saving money and supporting our good friend. So just wanted to give him a little shout out. But that's gonna do it for this week's video. Hopefully real soon, keep your fingers crossed for me. I'm gonna find my dream 56 Chevy. I know it's just a matter of time, but yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on the Charger as well. But thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.